I want to show you something real quick. This is my LinkedIn. That's my current job. I have no degree, no tech background. I just took one online course that completely changed my life. And it's not from Google or Udemy or Coursera. Here's something that most people don't know. There's a company called Course Careers that offers online courses and certifications that lead directly to high-paying jobs in IT, tech sales, data analytics, and a whole lot more. This is what helped me land my first tech support job at a software company in Manhattan. And no, this is not a generic certification like everyone pushes in YouTube that won't actually get you hired. Sure, you could take IT courses on Udemy or Google, or take the Google IT support certificate on Coursera, and those platforms are popular for a reason. But here's the thing. Most of those courses teach you technical knowledge without actually teaching technical skill. The one thing employers care about the most. And here's something for you to truly understand what I'm talking about. Skills is what they mean when they're asking for experience. I'm talking about specific online courses that teach in-demand skills where employers are actually hiring, and they focus on everything you need to actually get hired, not just the technical knowledge. And I want to repeat that and reiterate that consistently, because that is the literal, like if you understand that one part, I promise you, you'll have a much easier time competing in this competitive market than most people. Now, the best part is you don't need any previous experience or degrees to land these jobs. These courses teach you literally everything you need to know to break in and land your first high-paying position. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly which certifications are worth your time in 2025 and 2026. What kind of salaries can you expect when you're just starting out? And what specific job titles should you be applying for? For one of those careers, I've been working in there for now 11 months, and I previously had no degree or any prior experience. So I'm going to share my insider perspective, how quickly you can land these positions. I'm going to be as realistic as possible. I'm going to talk about the salary potential, and some of the salaries might surprise you. Okay, so let's go ahead and start out with the most valuable certification, the Course Careers IT Support Certification. You could take IT support courses on Coursera and their Google certificate, or browse hundreds of IT courses on Udemy. But here's what makes Course Careers different. While those platforms teach technical skills, Course Careers focuses on everything you actually need to land the job. This certification teaches everything about IT support to land your first entry-level position. You're gonna make either around $45,000 in your first year, up to $75,000 in following years. This includes troubleshooting hardware and software issues. That's a big part of your job. Understanding network fundamentals, mastering customer service skills for tech support. This course covers everything from Active Directory and DNS management to ticketing systems and remote support tools. The key thing to understand there is that all of these tools and concepts are relevant to your job. That is the most important thing that you need to know. They're relevant to what you would be doing if you already were working in IT support. Now, the course is self-paced. Some students finish in as fast as 4 weeks. I was able to finish in 4 weeks. Some students, they take 8 weeks. It is a relatively short course, but it is very packed. And do not let the whole 4 weeks to 8 weeks make you think that this is easy. It is not easy, and you will probably need to put in good amount of effort if you want to get results, right? Literally, if you just do everything exactly as they're telling you to do it, you're gonna have results. I can guarantee that. This certification can help you land mainly 2 different entry-level jobs, both with remote position opportunities. Me right now, I actually work from home. We have an office in Manhattan. This company is actually pretty international, so they have a headquarters in Washington, D.C. They're also in London. I think we're also in Romania, and I'm not sure if we have an office in the Philippines, but I can work from anywhere, any one of those offices, but I work mostly from home. A couple of the positions that I was just mentioning, first is the help desk technician. In this type of position, you're gonna need to master technical troubleshooting and problem solving. You're gonna deal with a lot of customer service. Communication is a major part of your job. It's not enough to only know how to solve issues like technically. You gotta know how to communicate with people. You gotta know how to talk with people who are not as technical as me and you. Also, you need to understand operating systems and networks. You're gonna learn all of these things in the Course Careers course. The pay starts at around $40,000 and goes up to $65,000 or $70,000 depending on your location and experience. If you're wondering what a typical day looks like and working in help desk, one of the things that you're gonna be doing all the time is reviewing support tickets and prioritizing urgent issues. I know in my job, when it's slow, usually I'll be juggling around 3 or 4 tickets. And when it's busy, the most I've ever seen in my queue was like 22 tickets. We actually have a cap of 12 tickets. So if I get 12 tickets, I won't be assigned any more tickets. If I have 12 at the max, how could I ever have 22, right? The reason why is because I have tickets that are not open, but are pending, waiting for either the client, the customer, or a third party to reply. And sometimes I'll get a bunch of replies in one day or a bunch of actions that I need to take in one day. And you know, I'll be stacked like that. In the beginning, you won't really be in a situation like that. It'll come with time. I know when I first got started working in my job, they would assign me just a couple of tickets manually. But then as I got good at my job, then they set me up with the Omni channel, which is something that's a part of Zendesk. And I started getting assigned tickets automatically. That's literally my whole day. Working, reviewing support tickets, and prioritizing urgent issues. Another thing that you're gonna be doing is troubleshooting software problems and guiding users through solutions. This is like a subset of support tickets. A ticket is just a problem that you have to solve. You get a ticket, maybe the person, they can't log in to Workday, Okta isn't working. So troubleshooting the software problem is looking into why that's happening. And you might need to work with the security team. You might need to reach out to somebody in HR. So that is some of the things that you'll be doing as you're working through software problems. Another thing that you'll probably be doing is documenting your solutions. You'll probably be escalating complex issues, and you'll be diving into system configuration. So what does that mean? So let's say you are solving a problem, you solve that problem, and then 3 days later, the same problem comes up. So knowing that you've solved this problem 3 times in a row, and the solution is exactly the same, you're probably gonna document what you did. And the reason why you would do that is that in case somebody else comes across that problem, they can refer to the documentation that you created and use the same implementation you used in these 3 situations. That's probably something that you're gonna be doing. As far as escalating complex issues, it's pretty simple. It's just realizing that this issue is outside your current ability and you're gonna be sending it to another team that works specifically with that. So for example, if you get a ticket and it's like the API is broken, you might not understand how to fix the API. So that's something that you would escalate to another team. That's what they say in like the corporate world. Diving into system configurations, that's just, you know, reviewing system settings. Everybody knows how to do it. It's like having your phone, okay? So this role is perfect for people that have patience, that know how to concentrate, and know how to think analytically. So if that's you, help desk is probably a great position for you. The other position that I was gonna mention is IT support specialist, which is a little bit different than help desk, okay? The scopes are kind of different. Scope means like the bullet points of what you do. So like if I go to a dentist will do these things. If I go to a dermatologist will do these things. Dentists work on teeth, dermatologist works on skin. So the scope of what they do is completely different. So that's what I mean by scope, okay? So for IT support specialists, you're gonna need a lot of advanced system administration. You're gonna need to know how to troubleshoot networks and know how to do maintenance. You're probably gonna do a little bit of user training. You're gonna do more documentation, similar to what I was talking about earlier, technical documentation. And again, you can learn all of this in the IT support course. This type of role pays between $50,000 and goes up to $70,000. This is an entry-level role that doesn't require a degree. Both of these roles lead into becoming an IT director, where pay ranges are from $120,000 to $180,000. And this is where you would oversee an entire IT department and make strategic technology decisions. I highly recommend you pick up this book called The Phoenix Project if you recommend going down that path, okay? For the people who know, you know. Here's the second course, the Course Careers Software Development course. Now, I know what you're thinking. AI is gonna replace software development. And I wouldn't argue much on that point, but I'd like to offer you a different perspective. I think the business need for software development will change, yes. But the skills and underlying technical knowledge will always be relevant and needed. However, I believe it should be merged with another critical part of the market. For example, if you only knew software engineering in a generalized way, it would probably be very difficult or damn near impossible for you to land a role. But if you took that skill and turned it into a specialty, that's a game changer. Okay? Think about it like this. Software engineering with a focus on identity access management in Microsoft environments. That's specializing. Or becoming an embedded systems engineer, somebody who can build software that powers devices like smartphones, cars, home appliances. Think software and hardware, or firmware. Yes, AI will disrupt software engineering, no doubt about it. But instead of thinking doom and gloom, start paying attention to the opportunities where you can specialize. If you want to compete in this market today, you better specialize. I know you hear all over the internet, everybody saying the market is cooked. I don't like that way of thinking, because the market is not a vegetable. It's not a food. You can't cook the market. That's just an expression of everybody's frustration on how difficult it is to land a job. Really, what's happening is the market is extremely competitive. And what I'm trying to tell you is, if you want to compete, you better specialize. Now, where should you learn software development? Can you just learn coding from Udemy or Coursera? You're gonna hear me talk a lot about Udemy and Coursera. Yes, those platforms, they have hundreds of coding, programming courses, but here's the problem. Most teach you to code, but don't teach you how to think like a developer or how to actually get hired. Course Careers takes a completely different approach. Instead of just teaching syntax, they teach you how to build real projects that employers actually want to see. This certification teaches everything about software development to land your first entry-level position, where you can make anywhere from $65K in your first year up to $95,000 or $110,000 in following years. In this course, you're going to learn about JavaScript fundamentals, React development. You're also going to learn about full stack application building from beginning to end. And this course is self-paced. Some students finish in as fast as 16 weeks. However, I recommend that you take your time, develop a deep understanding of the concepts. Like literally, you need to understand the purpose of the concept, the relationship it has with the larger purpose of your role. I recommend drawing mind maps with a free program. There's a great program called draw.io. Like, please, don't rush this type of course. It is difficult, and you need to have a solid understanding of what the concepts are, okay? Once you've completed your training, you can start as a junior developer at startups, established companies, or you can even freelance. I highly recommend that, especially as a way to get experience and put it on your resume. Me, I have a friend in Kenya who became a software engineer over there, and I know you're probably thinking that it is impossible to become a software engineer, but I can guarantee you the market for software engineers is harder to break into in Kenya than most places. They just don't have as many tech companies with opportunities. So the reason why I'm telling you that is that be ready to compete. Specialize, specialize, specialize. I should also mention that you're gonna need to master a couple of these things. You're gonna need to know programming languages and frameworks. You're gonna be doing problem solving and debugging. By the way, problem solving is a skill, okay? Think critical thinking. You need to know version control and collaboration tools, and you're gonna learn all of these things in this course. This course is valuable because companies don't want to hire someone who can only follow tutorials. They want developers who can build actual applications solutions and solve real problems. Keywords: solving real problems. Pay starts at anywhere between $55,000 and goes up to $85,000 depending on your location and your experience. Now, if you're wondering what a typical day looks like, you're probably going to be reviewing code, you're going to be planning development tasks, you're going to be writing new features, you're going to be fixing bugs. Everybody likes bugs, right? You're going to be collaborating with other team members, right? You might be dealing with escalations from support teams. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes I get tickets. There's nothing I can do to fix the problem. There's an underlying code issue. So I'll escalate the ticket to what we call our engineering team, and they'll fix that bug. So that's a big part of your job, right? You're gonna be conducting code reviews, and then you're gonna be diving into technical problem solving, which, by the way, if you're in tech, just get ready to do a lot of problem solving. That is the whole point. That's one of the biggest reasons why you're hired. This role is perfect for people with logical thinking. They are persistent and they are okay with concentrating, okay? That might sound a little weird to say, okay with concentrating, but one of the things I've learned working in this job is that you have to learn how to lock in, right? Whenever we say lock in, that's literally concentration. So if you're somebody you can learn how to concentrate, or you're good at concentrating, this puts you on a path to become a senior software engineer or a technical lead, where pay ranges are very high, between $120,000 to $200,000 per year. This is where you'd lead development teams, you'd architect complex software solutions for companies and enterprises. By the way, the instructor of this course has been a software engineer for 7 years, and he created this course to help people break into industry. This is literally a fraction of the cost and time to do a computer science program or random coding tutorials that don't prepare you for a real job. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the link that I got placed below. Okay, number 3, the data analytics certification. Again, Coursera has the popular Google Data Analytics certificate, and Udemy has hundreds of data analysis courses. But Course Careers is different. While those platforms teach tools like Excel, Python, you probably learn Snowflake or MongoDB, for example, they don't teach you how to communicate those insights to business stakeholders, which is a huge part of your job. I think a more better way of saying data analytics, it should be called data analytics and communication. So what makes this certification practical is its focus on something every business needs: making sense of data to drive business decisions. This is arguably the most important and in-demand jobs with a current shortage of workers. Contrary to popular belief, you don't need a college degree in mathematics or statistics for many entry-level data analytics jobs. This course covers everything from Excel, SQL fundamentals, which is basically the foundation, right? You have to know that. You're gonna learn data visualization. You're gonna learn business intelligence reporting, which is part of the communication that I was talking about earlier. You're also gonna learn how to clean and analyze data sets. You might be surprised to hear this, although I'm not a data analyst, I often get tickets from our clients where they're telling me, hey, my report is missing data, or it's wrong, or it's incorrect. And then when I look at the report, I realize that they just didn't clean it up, right? It is literally, after like, I don't know, maybe I've gotten like 15 of those type of tickets, I can see how it is a like full-time job to be a data analyst, because you'd be surprised how many executives or marketing people do not know how to make sense of their report. And that's no shame to them, right? It's just outside the scope of what they do in their real job. So you're gonna be cleaning up and analyzing a lot of data sets. You're obviously gonna be creating dashboards. That goes back into the communication. You also are gonna learn how to present these findings to non-technical audiences. This is self-paced. Again, some students finish this within 10 weeks. This certification helps you land entry-level data analytics jobs, many offering remote positions in some of the fastest growing tech fields. So if you're gonna become a data analyst, here's some of the skills that you're gonna need: data collection, cleaning techniques, statistical analysis, visualization, business reporting, presentation skills. This is gonna pay between $50,000 to $70,000 per year, and a typical day includes reviewing data requests from different departments, querying databases, cleaning data sets, creating visualizations, conducting statistical analysis. You're going to be identifying business trends. Perfect for people with critical thinking and attention to detail. If you're that type of person who knows how to focus on the details, this is probably a great position for you. Now, second position that you can get with this course is a business intelligence analyst, right? You're gonna need to know how to do advanced data modeling and database management. You're gonna need to do more database creation and automation, and also strategic analysis and forecasting. Pay starts between $60,000 and goes up to $85,000 for entry-level positions. Both of these roles lead into chief data officers, where pay ranges can be anywhere between $200,000 to $350,000 with seniority and experience. In that type of role, you would oversee all of the data strategy and lead data-driven decision-making all across every single department. Now, here's another great option that's also remote, like data analytics, but more creative and less math-focused, and that is the fourth course with Course Careers, the UI UX Design Certification. If you're wondering what UI UX means, it literally means user interface, user experience. Sure, Coursera and Udemy have tons of design courses teaching Figma and Photoshop, but most of those focus on making things look pretty without teaching how design impacts business outcomes and user behavior. Allow me to repeat that, because your entire career in UI UX depends on your understanding of this fundamental part of your job. You need to understand how design impacts business outcomes and user behavior. Now, this is perfect for people who enjoy creative problem solving. It's in high demand with both in-office and remote positions, especially at tech companies. This course offers everything from user research and wireframing, prototyping, and design systems. You're going to learn how to create user-friendly interfaces. You're going to conduct usability testing, collaborate with development teams. You can finish this in as little as 12 weeks. The first position that you can get in UI UX is design intern or junior designer. For this, you're going to need to know how to do user research, persona development. You're going to need how to do wireframing, prototyping. You're going to need to know how to do visual design, and you also need to know how to design systems. Pay starts at $45K and goes up to $65K. A typical day looks like this. You're going to be reviewing user feedback and analytics data. You're going to be creating wireframes, design mockups, collaborating with project managers, developers, and you're also going to be conducting user testing and focusing on improving user experience. Literally the name UX. So this is perfect for people with empathy. You're the type of person, you know how to kind of put yourself in the other person's shoes and look at the world through their eyes and kind of understand the persona. A big part of marketing is speaking the language to one person. Like, you're gonna have an ideal client avatar. If you sell nail polish and maybe your ideal client avatar is a young girl who plays sports but likes to make her nails look great, but she doesn't have enough time to go to a salon, so she needs a solution that looks beautiful and is still amazing. So your marketing is all on this one girl's life. You see what I'm saying? So if you have empathy, you have problem solving skills, you can think outside the box, this might be a great position for you. The second position that you can get with this course is a product designer. So for this, you're gonna need strategic design thinking and product strategy. Think big picture thinking, right? You're also gonna need to know how to do advanced prototyping, interaction design. You're also gonna need to know how to do cross-functional team collaboration. You're gonna be working a lot with stakeholders, obviously having marketing conversations. And when I say marketing conversations, I'm talking about like budget. Pay starts anywhere between $65,000 and goes up to $95,000. Both of those roles also lead to a senior position. You could be the head of design or you can be the chief design officer. Pay ranges are anywhere between $180K to $300,000, right? This is where you'd lead the entire design organizations. You'd set design strategy for products used by, hopefully your company has millions of customers. So finally, let's explore one of the highest paying certifications that Course Careers offers, and this is also the course that the founder of the company, Troy Buchholz, originally created. This is what he literally built Course Careers off of this one course, teaching others what he did when he started his career at 18 years old without a degree, and that is the Course Careers Tech Sales Certification. Now, there are many general sales and business courses that you can find all over the internet, all over YouTube, of course, Udemy, Coursera, but they're not not going to talk about the specific nuances of selling technology products to business, which is completely different from regular sales. This is great for people who enjoy building relationships, you don't mind the pressure of hitting sales targets, and you're okay with a paycheck that follows successful performance. There's obviously salary options, but the upside of what you can make through commissions is pretty bananas. This course covers anything from understanding the software solutions and SaaS products. If you want to know what I'm talking about when I say SaaS, SaaS is just the term for software as a service. Gmail, think any app you buy off of the store, you're buying a software that's a service to you. So software as a service is what we call SaaS. This course is also going to talk about lead generation, how to close complex B2B deals. It's very different than what we would say maybe car sales. The process, there's different steps. You see what I'm saying? In this course, you're also going to learn how to prospect. You're going to learn how to conduct technical demos, navigate these long sales cycles that need to deal with multiple decision makers. Think of it like this. Like if you're selling software to a company, you're not selling it to one person and then they say yes, right? A company is going to have multiple people that need to make a decision on whether or not they'll move forward with the software that you're selling. And that's what we mean by decision makers. Now, you can finish this course in as fast as 6 weeks, although you don't need to go that fast. You can probably do it like, take your time, do it within 10 months. All right, so the first position that you can start out as is what we call an SDR, or a sales development representative. For this position, you're gonna need a skill in prospecting, lead generation, qualifying potential customers, and effective communication and follow-up strategies. Pay starts anywhere between $70,000 to $90,000. A typical day looks like this. You're gonna be researching potential prospects and their companies, making cold calls, sending personalized outreach. You're gonna be qualifying leads, scheduling demos for account executives. You're probably going to need to do a lot of research on customer pain points. This is perfect for people who are persistent. You have no problem dealing with rejection. And when I say no problem, I don't mean it doesn't emotionally affect you. It just means that it doesn't stop you. At the end of the day, especially if you're beginning, rejection is going to impact everybody. But if it's going to stop you from taking consistent action, that's kind of what I mean by like good at dealing with the rejection. So this type of role leads into vice president of sales, chief revenue officer, where the pay ranges are some of the highest that we've talked about so far in this video, from $250,000 all the way up to $500,000 a year. You'd oversee the entire sales organization, drive revenue growth for major tech companies. And what's crazier is that this career gives you skills to start your own tech company, where many successful entrepreneurs commonly make millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars per year building and selling software products, right? Like I mentioned earlier, Troy Buckle, the guy who founded Course Careers, he started out in tech sales. He then used his experience to build Course Careers, and now in his late 20s, he has a very successful ed tech company. So if any of these careers interest you, go ahead and click the link to Course Careers down below. Sign up for one of their free introduction courses and see if it's for you. If none of these that I've talked about interest you, Course Careers also has this free AI career counselor that will recommend the right career based on your personality and goals. There are many careers that I didn't mention that Course Careers has passed into, some of those being construction project management, medical device sales, accounting, and supply chain coordinator, and there's many, many more. So I'm gonna go ahead and link that down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.